In this project, we're going to take this kit of parts, laser cut out of plastic, and turn it into this dragonfly. All we need, some scissors, some glue, and a set of parts. The first step we have to do is to free all of the parts from the kit card, and we're just going to do that with a pair of scissors, just snipping these little connector bits all the way around, and in some cases we can actually just pull the edge off or some of the parts out. And so what we have are two sets of wings. We have the body, and it's got some little notches that we can attach the legs and also some round parts to help make the body look three-dimensional. This piece here will go in the tail slot to sort of make it look more three-dimensional. And occasionally there's a few of these little bits that are still in there, and you can just yank those out. We also have two sets of legs. We have three of these little circles, which make up the body. And then we have these two parts, kind of look like wishbones, which are actually going to hold the wings and the legs onto the body. So, the first thing that we can do is start out by putting some of these circles onto the body itself. And you can see we have circles in the first two slots and the littlest circle in the last slot. We leave slots number 3 and 4 open for our little wishbones. So I'm going to take the big circle and slot it into the front slot. Then I'm going to take the medium circle, put it in the second slot. Sometimes it takes a little wiggling to get it in there. Once it does, it fits nice and snug. Then I'm going to leave slots 3 and 4 open, and I'm going to put the small circle in slot number 5. Now I'm going to get my two little wishbone pieces here. They're exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one goes in which slot, but I'm going to push them up and into slots number 3 and 4. Make sure to push them all the way up so that they're nice and tight. And that's how they go. Now I have my legs, and you can see the legs have two slots which are going to match up with the little wishbones. And it has a sort of wider chunk at the back, and that's meant to go in that wider gap between slots 3 and 4. So I'm going to just slide that in there and push it up until it's nice and snug. Flip it over and do the same with the other side. Again, identifying this sort of wider chunk and fitting it into the spot between slots 4 and 5. Now that's pretty snug. It's not likely to go anywhere. However, if yours feels a little looser, or if you just want to be sure, that's where you can come in with a little bit of tacky glue and help make sure that those legs stay in place. For a good long time. Now we have our wings. We want to make sure we put the wings on correctly. So if we're looking at our dragonfly from above, we want to have the curve of the wing angle a little bit towards the head. That's a little bit different than, say, a bird's wing. A bird's wing would maybe angle backwards, but our dragonfly wings will angle a little bit forwards. And we're going to slot that into that wishbone. And it might need, again, a little bit of wiggling. You can look underneath and try to make sure that all the parts are slotting in correctly. So you have a little bit of that slot on the bottom and a little bit of it on the top. And again, if you want to make sure that that stays there for a good long time, you can put a little dab of glue in there. And we don't want to make sure that our wings don't go asymmetrical. We want to make sure that they, again, curve a little bit forward. And we'll get it in those same slots just like we did on the other side. And we can add a little dab of glue on those wings, just to help hold it there for the long term. The last piece is this tail piece, and you'll notice that it has one long slot and one shorter slot, and that's to help it go into this space. And so you put the longer slot in first, and it's going to slide a little extra bit forward, and you'll be able to then get it in the back there and then slide it back in. So that'll latch it in place. And that is our dragonfly. Now this material is really easy to color, so grabbing some markers, putting some designs on there, using some of your tacky glue to glue some, some decorations, something shiny, or some beads onto this to make this dragonfly much more individual and your own creation. And that is our dragonfly kit.